what your life can look like 3 years from now when you start investing today. I want you to close your eyes. Imagine you jumped into 3 years from now. Your calendar is light, no alarm clock. You choose to spend your time how you want, with who you want, whenever you want, because you can. Because financially you can do it. Because your money has been compounding daily, quietly in the background, and moving you closer and closer to your freedom. While others panic about money, they're in the hustle. You know you're good. You know your financial freedom number. You know your timeline to get there. You know exactly what you've got to get in place to make that a real reality for you. You're not waiting till retirement. What we do here is we choose when our freedom is. We choose our timeline. We get to choose when our freedom is. Not the government, not our jobs, not our businesses, nobody else. You get to choose when your freedom gets to be. That's key, by the way. We're not waiting till retirement to live free. We get to live free way quicker than that. You know the amount you need to put away to get there, your timeline, what to invest in, all the things to hit your target. Okay? You're no longer waiting, wishing for freedom, right? Most people are going around wishing for freedom. It's who you are. Like, that's a different way of showing up with life. Imagine it is so much a piece of you. It's who you are, right? That is a different way. Like, most people are going around wanting something. It's not who they are, and you want it to be so in your identity, the freedom, the wealthy person. That's how you operate, right? All while your best life, you're living your best life in your process while you're building up the freedom, right? Not waiting for some future thing, okay? Hustle culture, it's lying to you. Freedom doesn't come from working harder or having a 7-figure business. In fact, as somebody who used to work with flatbread horses, they were worth like 500,000, 1 million. They just had bigger bills. And it's the same with a 7-figure business. They have bigger bills. They need bigger teams to make it run. Okay? And that actually takes away from your freedom when you make your overheads bigger. Okay? So freedom doesn't come from working hard. It doesn't come from the 7-figure business. There you go. Yeah. It comes from what you do with the money you have now. That's why people can do it from any income. Okay? You gotta let money compound instead of paying another team member, instead of paying yourself or clearing that debt. Of course you clear your debt. I'm not saying don't. But your habits with money are your habits with money, and the behavior is either leading you to the freedom or it's taking you away. Okay? So really look at where you are with your money. So you don't want to fall for that. Bigger does not mean freedom. In fact, most people are more trapped. Being smart with your money, that's different. Okay? Paying you, putting it to work. Paying you, putting it to work. Paying you, put it to work. Okay? Pay your assets first. We've all heard pay yourself first. I go another level with that. Pay your assets first. You got to be putting money to work if you want to be free. Okay? You want that money to be able to support you when you can no longer, or you decide, I no longer want to work for money. That gets to be created now. Okay? Freedom comes from assets that earn for you when you sleep, when you're going about your day. And you don't need thousands or the perfect bank account to begin. You need a decision and a first step. Time is a multiplier, right? So, like, give you an example. Say you had $1,000, £1,000 right now, initial deposit. Like, that's not so much, right? And you contribute what you're putting to your expensive mentor, by the way. If you contribute £500 or $500 at a 10%, which is quite modest, at a 10% rate of return, in 10 years from now, you would have over 100k net worth. That's very doable. That is so doable. All you need is £1,000, $1,000, €500, pounds, dollars, doesn't matter, right? Working at 10% in 10 years from now would give you 100k. That's how fast you can grow. Okay? That's why when I share with you, get going on £25 or $100, how that money compounding can really go for you. Like when I shared Claire's story, she started with £25. 2 years from now, she's got 10k, right? But imagine if that 250 she was putting away every month. Imagine if that was 500 she put away every month. Where would she be? Like, just add another couple of zeros. Like, freedom gets to be reality for you now. Okay, back to what I said the first point about time being a multiplier. It's time in the market, not timing the market. Okay, people who know how to invest know this. Okay, and when you delay 1 year, 2 years, like, you literally cut that by half. Like, compounding, you gotta be in it for it to grow for you. Okay, freedom gets to be a reality for you now. You don't wait to, like, so much of financial freedom is how you feel about the money now, right? You don't wait to be free. Like, when you have your financial house in order and you're doing all the right things with your money, you get to live free now while you build this up, by the way. So every euro, dollar, pound is working for you. That compounding buys you back your family time. It buys you back the slow morning, the long lunches, the guilt-free holidays, because you have the money to do so, right? Your money is not dependent on you. That is huge. The thing is, with most coaching business or most jobs are not secure. Coaching business, if you're not able to work it, it does not work without you. Okay? And people who are financially free and truly wealthy, they don't depend on the government. They don't depend on their business or anyone else for money, because they can all change, shift, fall down. So you want to be able to be the tower for yourself. Okay, when you take care of money, money takes care of you. Okay, so you're not dependent on the government, the husband, your business to be free. You really are living on your terms. Okay, remember I talked about Claire. She was divorced, shaky finances, had to borrow off her parents just to kind of get a roof over her head with her 2 sons. Started with £25. Really didn't think she could do it at the time. That's all she could spare. That might be all you can spare right now. 2 years later, it's at 10k. And if she added another couple of zeros, where would it be? Right? Susie, just there 10 days ago, $100, should I say? $100 into 5 trackers. Now they're growing for her. And she's going to up the amount she's putting towards it. Okay? And she already messaged me about the momentum she's seeing already. Helen started in January, moved over 32k from pensions, from jobs, is putting 500 towards. She's well on her way to freedom. Like, it's so more possible than it's made out to be in the world. Where people go wrong, notice if you do this, where people go wrong, they're waiting till they feel good about money before they start. That's holding you back, I'm telling you, because I'll prove it over and over again. And I'll tell you something very real and raw right here, right? They're embarrassed about their current circumstances. There's no judgment here. You'll never get judgment from me. And I'm going to share you this. And I bet you didn't know this about me. My money is not perfect either, by the way. The difference between me and everybody else and those coaches that are making 500,000 per year and have nothing to show for it, the difference between them and me is because I know that by starting from where I am with what I got is going to get me ahead. So notice what you're thinking about money and where is it leading you to, because most businesses are not that free, even if they show you a lovely picture on Instagram. They're always having to be on. They always have to be on the hustle. True freedom is when you can walk away. If you think I've got it all together, I don't. My money's not perfect. but I show up differently with the money. I do what I say here. I walk my talk. It's what I do with the money when it leaves my bank account. I put in a certain percentage every month away, and I put it to work. And I have my buffers and all in place. So if something happens to me in the morning, I know I'll be okay. I don't worry about money. And everyone I talk to wants to worry about money. Imagine when you don't have to worry about money. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Everybody's heard about that book, right? Robert Kiyosaki. He was in massive debt when he turned things around because he paid himself first. That's how he turned around. He paid himself first, then everybody else. You flip it. Okay? Another big mistake people make is they're chasing revenue. Revenue. You can chase revenue and people make millions. Their business make millions, but they're not paying themselves first. They're not living, because they're not doing the number one thing is what are you doing with the money when it leaves your bank account? So they're chasing revenue. They've no direction. Income without investing is a treadmill, by the way. Things don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have the perfect knowledge. You have to get into action. Because it's only by being in the action do you know what questions to ask or how to move forward. I love the saying, because this is how I operate. Messy, imperfect action will always move you ahead than somebody that's waiting till their money's in the right place. Waiting till they know all the answers. Waiting till they don't look silly because they feel like they'll ask a silly question because I don't know anything about investing. You gotta catch your shit. This is exactly why I created Set Up Your First Investment. It is a 60-day sprint where I personally walk you through opening your account, choosing your first investment, and we can do it at $100 or £100. We can do it in euros too, by the way. Right? Depending on what country, but you can get going as well. And letting Compound do the heavy lifting for you. We started last week. You can still jump in now for €97. So all you need to do this is, it's about, I think, $115, by the way. Even less if you're in the UK. It's less, the UK always holds its value, right? So it's $97 euros to do this. Okay, we started last week. You're perfectly in time. On Friday, the price goes up to $197. So if you want to do this and you want to jump on this, drop invest below this video in the comments and I'll send you the link to share more about it. You can go have a look at it, and if you want, jump in, claim your spot. Don't act now. Before I go there, fast forward 3 years. You will be the woman. So there's those who are not acting right now, but 3 years from now, those of you who've said yes to yourself, you'll be one of the women who's buying back her time. The one that's not still on the hustle and constantly worrying about money. That's what I hear all the time. Lorna, I want to not have to worry about money. Right? If you do this now, you're going to be in a very different place with money 1, 2, 3 years from now. It isn't time, isn't it time to let that go? Isn't it time to get off the hustle? Wishing you started back in 2025 instead of it's 2027 now, 2028, and you're like, shit, I should have done what she said 3 years ago. Have you ever been in that position, right? So don't let another week past you and another wave of compounding growth go past you. Type invest below this video and build a future that you want to build. Stop hustling, start compounding. See you on the inside. Right, take care. Have a great day. It's your time.